Folks, this keeps getting crazier. Jonatham Kuminga, Summer League is now over, and we have no resolution. He was supposed to meet with teams in Vegas, that include the Warriors and other teams. Supposedly, he met with the Bulls. Brett Siegel, ESPN, NBA reporter, said Kuminga does not want to be with the Warriors anymore. Kind of knew that based off of what happened with Steve Kerr and how this situation is going. But we have numbers now of what the deal Kuminga wants, what the deal the Warriors are offering, and why it's taking so long, what's happening. So we're going to break it all down on this episode of Warriors Digest. Randyu Silve here. Please like and subscribe. Myself, Arthur, giving you all the Warriors news. I know it's been quiet over the weekend. I work 3 12-hour days covering Big Red sports. Arthur has a young child, and also there wasn't a lot of sports news in the Warriors world. One big news just to share quickly. Summer League, as I said, is over. Warriors won their final game against the Cavaliers 82-71. They went 3-2. I'll have a video coming out soon breaking down Summer League, the highs and lows of how that went. I know we can talk a little bit of ball. But before we talk ball, we got to talk Kuminga. Kuminga does not want to return to the Warriors and is seeking a deal worth $30 million per year. Last year, Kuminga turned down 5 years, $150 million. Nothing has really come up like that at all. Miles Turner didn't get that money. Is Kuminga Miles Turner level? Obviously, they play different positions. But for 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 45% shooting, is that worth $150 million? So per Brett Siegel, again, deal of $30 million range. And doesn't want to be back with the Warriors. Of course, he wants to start, wants to prove he can have that. There's no guarantee he would start when your lineup is. Let me blow this up for you. Curry, Butler, Green, Moody, Trayce Jackson-Davis, Podziemski, Post. Some combination of that probably starting. Of course, Kuminga started when Curry, with Curry to start last season, and then came out, fell out, and then when Curry was hurt in the playoffs. But that was with Jimmy, Draymond, and Curry playing together. Also with Jimmy and Draymond, Kerr has said he doesn't like Kuminga with them all together. New season, they can get more reps, but didn't play a lot. Golden State wants a deal around $20 million range where they can flip him because there's no market. So again, they want to try to do a sign and trade. But for the Warriors, it's more advantageous to do a sign and trade after December when they can trade him for full. If they trade him right now, they can only get half the money back in the deal. So if you sign for $20 million, you trade him right now at the sign and trade extension, then you could only trade him for up to $10 million. After December, then you could trade him for the full deal range. Trading for a mid-level player around $20 million is much easier than trading for a $30 million player. Dub's still holding out that a sign and trade with the Bulls can happen. Ayo Dosunmu is a good player that they may be looking at. I've talked about potentially Josh Giddey, but supposedly the Bulls do not want to give up Josh Giddey, even though he's still a restricted free agent as well, unsigned. Now, I do think that Josh Giddey and him would be a pretty good 1-2 combo in the trade. I think it's a win-win for both teams. Giddey gives us a position player who's a bit taller and can shoot, be a bit more versatile than what Kuminga has provided to this team. Fisher also noted that it would have made more sense if you could get a point guard back, Lonzo Ball, but he's now in Cleveland, so it doesn't really make sense there. So let's take a look at the Bulls roster right now. Kobe White, would be cool to get him, but he's a cornerstone player for this team. Again, we'll talk Josh Giddey. Let me zoom in. Can I zoom in? There we go. At guard, 70 games. He's played 280 in his career. Still relatively young. Again, going to year 4 out of Australia. 8 rebounds, 14 points last year for the Bulls. If you look at his salary, he's not on here because, again, he's a restricted free agent. I don't see Giddey. No, I don't see Giddey. Not on here. But if I go like this for you really quickly, Josh Giddey, contract. Sorry, I should have had this ready to go for you. Sporadic. He's making around 5, 6, 6, 8 restricted free agents right now. Probably looking for 15, 20 million, maybe what the Warriors would give. Now, of course, Kuminga wants 30 million. Who Brett said is Mr. Ayo. Player Ayo. Let's pick this up bigger. 12 points, 3.5 rebounds a game last year. 6'5", so basically the same height as Kuminga. Kuminga is 6'6", 200 pounds. 2021 draft pick, round 2, number 38, 4 years of experience. Went to Illinois. Stats, here we go. You can see that he actually didn't play in a lot of games last year, but was relatively healthy before this. While he was playing, he averaged 30 minutes a game. His scoring stayed the same, so you would have thought that maybe it would increase as the season went on. He's not that good of a three-point shooter, very inconsistent. Look at his percentage at 40%, 23, 24, 32%, 24, 25. Free throws all over the place, but 80s, 70s is where you're at. And then if you look at his number threes per game, again, 1 made out of 4, 1 made out of 3. He went down 8%. Shows he just wasn't the most healthy. When you look at his actual salary, folks, 1-year deal left, $7 million. So in a sign and trade for Kuminga, again, if you sign him for $20 million, you do sign and trade, and you can only get half the money back, then they could do this where this works because he's $7.5 million. Kuminga signed for $20 million, then you get $10 million. But they could probably get maybe a draft pick or something. Maybe they have to throw in like a Julian Phillips or something to make the money work there as well to even it out. Now maybe Kuminga does we've talked about, let me blow myself up for a second. We've talked about Kuminga has his qualifying offer at $7.9 million. He takes it, bets on himself, and is a full free agent next year where there's more money out there, and maybe he proves himself this year. He could take a 2-year deal with the Warriors with a 3rd-year player option, and he's lined up with Draymond, Butler, and Steph Curry's contracts. But based off of this again right here, he does not want to return to the Warriors. He's seeking a deal worth $30 million per year. I don't think Kuminga is worth $30 million per year, especially not at this point where he hasn't had the consistent production offensively and defensively. We're now, with Summer League over, it's the dog days of summer for basketball until, what would it be? Fall camp, basically. Preseason starts September-ish. So now you got basically a month and a half. There's no Olympic basketball this time, anything like that to take us over. So it's going to be a slow grind to see what happens. And there's really not that many free agents out there anymore. CP3 today signed with the Clippers. So there goes another backup point guard, former Warrior. It will be tough pickings for Kuminga. So I want you to comment your thoughts, folks. What do you think on the new update? What do you think on the new stories? Please like, subscribe, and we'll keep you updated on everything Warriors basketball.